Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. On this day, we are going to discuss and present about financial management among students in UiTM TAPAH. For introduction in this case, financial management is the process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling financial resources in order to achieve goals of an organization. But for this case, it is very crucial for students to learn about financial management as it can help them make informed decisions about the finances and set them up for financial stability during their studies in university. Firstly, it is to help them develop the skills and knowledge necessary to manage their finances effectively. This topic is more focused on how much money the students spend monthly. Next, there are various sources of funding available for students to support their studies. Despite all of that, there are also some students who want to be independent, where they can earn their own money to support themselves. Firstly, financial management is an important life skill that students need to learn in order to have enough money throughout their study life. By focusing on financial management for students, we can help them develop the skills and knowledge about financial decisions. Last but definitely not least, exploring financial management for students can help raise awareness of the importance of financial literacy and encourage students to take an active role in managing their finances. Objectives of study for this case is to study the characteristics of students towards their expenses in a month during studying in UiTM TAPAH.
Data collection method, we decided to use an internet survey. We used the Google Form application because first it is very convenient and this platform also helps in making it easier for respondents to fill out the survey. Plus, we didn't forget to pass the link of survey to all UiTM groups to make sure students notice the survey.
As a part of our study, 56 students from 3 different courses in UiTM TAPAH were required to answer our questionnaire about the characteristics toward financial. These 3 courses are the Faculty of Accountancy, Faculty of Applied Science and College of Computing, Information and Media. Out of the 56 respondents, there are 40 females and 40 are males. The sampling technique that we use in our study is simple random sampling (SRS). This method allocates an equal chance of selection for each element in the population. This ensures that every student in UiTM TAPAH has an equal chance of participating in our study and eliminating sampling bias. Basically, the first thing we need to do is we need to decide what kind of population we want to study. In our study, students of UiTM TAPAH were chosen as our population. Secondly, we need to decide our sample size, which is how much sample size we want to study. In our study, our sample size is 56 students in UiTM TAPAH from different faculties. Next, the last one is the data were randomly chosen. In our study, we use a computer to generate a random number because it is much easier. And we just randomly choose a subset of the population.
In this study, we have a qualitative data. Because of that, simple bar chart and pie chart are the chosen one. For the bar chart, we use a horizontal and vertical bar chart. These two bar charts represent data only one variable. Each bar should have the same width. Next is pie chart, or known as circle chart. It has been divided into numerous categories to show a total and display the relative size of a component part. The percentage and the proportion 360 of the value are shown in the pie chart. On top of a simple bar chart and a pie chart should have a title that will make us understand what the topic is.
Next is the description on the variable, and in the table 1 we can see the description of variable, and the variable that we use is the gender, age, faculty, part, and amount of money spent in a month, things that students spend their money on, also source of the money that students get to support during their study, and lastly, other ways for students to have a side income. And the type of variable that we use is the qualitative data. And for the measurement scale that we use is the nominal scale and ordinal scale.
Tablet 2 shows the frequency distribution of genders. We can identify the highest percentage filled out this online questionnaire is female. Most of the respondents are female with 75% point out 42 students, while male with 25% point out 14 students. This means the total gender who answer this online questionnaire is 60 students. In reference to the chart, more female students answer the questionnaire, probably because factors are often involved in managing spending or money management.
Next is the age of respondent, which is we can see in the table 3, which is we have less than 19 years old and 7 respondents and 12.5%. Next is the age of 19 until 21 years old, and we have 47 respondents and 83.9%. Lastly, we have more than 21 years old and only 2 respondents and also 3.6%. So as we can see, 19 until 21 years old is the highest than others. Because of in UiTM Campus TAPAH, there is a lot of students that are doing diploma program rather than degree program.
Next, Figure 3 shows the variety of faculties of the 56 UiTM TAPAH students who answered the questionnaire. Faculty of Accountancy students are the highest respondents of them all, which takes 29 respondents with 52%, because UiTM TAPAH's average students are mostly from the Faculty of Accountancy. The second highest is from the Faculty of Computing, Informatics and Media, with 16 respondents and 29%. Last but definitely not the least, for Faculty of Applied Science, it shows that they are the lowest compared to the other faculties where it takes only 11 respondents with 19%. Since they are completely different from the other faculties in terms of courses and subjects, some of them may not be familiar with the questionnaire that they saw on any platforms, which makes some of them didn't really want to answer the questionnaire.
Next, I would like to talk about part of respondent, or known as semester. We can see most of the respondent are part 2, which is a 49 respondent with 87.5%. This is because our questioning was distributed among part 2 students. Our second highest respondent are in part 3, with a 3 respondent and 5.3%. It is because other students also help us to answer the questionnaire. Lastly, part 1 and part 5 have 2 respondents respectively and 3.6%. In conclusion, students of UiTM TAPAH are really friendly and helpful. They will contribute in whatever other students ask them to do.
Next is about how much money the students spent in a month. As we can see in these slides, at first glance, we can identify which bar chart is the highest, right? Well, it is in the middle of it, which is less than 300 ringgit. So in this figure 5 shows that less than 300 ringgit takes 26 respondents and 46%. Most of these students may not come from wealthy backgrounds, but for them, less than 300 ringgit per month is more than enough for their daily expenses. Second, the average monthly expenses of some students range from 300 to 500 ringgit is 24 respondents and 43%. This shows that the spending is increasing. By far, the most notorious expenses college students spend is food. Some of them may experience cravings for fancy food from time to time. Therefore, most of them spend money on food deliveries. That's why they spend that much of money for a month. Finally, students who spend more than 500 ringgit have the lowest value in the bar chart with 6 respondents and 11%. This type of student usually has other big amount of expenses, such as owning a car, so depending on the length of the trip, they have to pay for the petrol every day. However, they also had to pay the rent, as not all UiTM TAPAH students stayed at the university and had to spend more money on it.
Next is the things that students spend their money on, which is on the table 7. As we can see here, we can see students like to spend their money more on food, which is we have 44 respondents and 78.6%. Also, students like to spend their money on entertainment, that we have 5 respondents and also 8.9%. Also, students like to use their money to do online shopping or doing shopping, that we have 4 respondents and 7.1%. Lastly, that students like to spend their money on in educational purpose or buying books, that we have 3 respondents and 5.4%. So overall, most of students will spend their money that they got to buy food. This is because it can help them to release their stress and satisfy their cravings.
Now, I would like to talk about our respondent support system. As we can see, parents are the highest source of the money, with 26 respondents and 46.4%. It is because most of the parents will work hard to ensure their children not to be burdened with financial problems. Second highest are sponsorship with 17 respondents and 30.4%. When they at SPM level, they get the excellence mark so they can apply for GPA or moral sponsorship. Loan have 11 respondents and 19.6%. Most of student UiTM TAPAH take a loan like a PTN for support their studies. Lastly, saving and work have 1 respondent and 1.8% respectively. All we can see here, parents will do everything to fulfill their children's dream even they need to work harder And all the students in university are so intelligent, but unfortunately, the chance to get the sponsorship is below than 100. Not all the students in UiTM TAPAH gets.
Based on question, what are the ways for students to have side income? Table 8 shows the frequency distribution of the questionnaire. Most of the students do the part-time job with the highest percentage, which is 46%, point out 26 students. The second highest percentage of ways that students choose a work with parents by 23%, point out 13 students. Thirdly, 16% show 9 students choose none as an option. Next, 13% identify 7 students decide to work as an online seller as their side income. Lastly, the lowest percentage rate is 2% refer to only one student picking sell an unused item as the side income. In short, for students who want to have their side income even during studies, the highest response for having side income is a part-time job. This shows that students prefer to work rather than just hopping or depending on parents' money.
The last one is conclusion. Our group conducted a study and research on student financial management at universities, and based on the response we received after disseminating online survey, we received a total of 56 responses from different faculties of UiTM TAPAH. Firstly, the majority of students in faculty are female, and the majority of students are from the faculty of accountancy. After that, the most of responses come from Part 2. Also, the average age of respondents is 19 to 21 years old, and this age group has the most respondents. Now, let's talk about how students are spending their money. Despite the many expenses that students face, we found that the most money is spent on food. Well, we all know that it's common to spend a significant portion of money on food. However, we found that not many students have the luxury to spend a lot of money in a month. The highest amount of money that students spend in a month is less than 300. In addition, some students depend on their parents' financial support, while others choose to work part-time while studying. However, our study found that out of the students who wanted to earn a side income, the highest response was for the part-time job. In conclusion, our study showed that financial management is very crucial, especially for university students. While many students face financial challenges, it is important to prioritize expenses and manage our finance well. By doing so, we may ensure that not just our academic success but also our long-term financial well-being.